studying Stein, I'm constantly really baffled by the absence of discussion and celebration of humour in her work, and of course in other people's poetry. And I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about how you kind of think, how you perceive the humour of your poetics, because it's kind of that the affect as someone engaging in your poetry is really overwhelming to experience something that is funny. It affects your body in a fairly kind of indeterminate and sort of unknowable and at times kind of scary way. And it's kind of it just returns me continually to another refrain in your poetics, which is that of the kind of Epicurean or Lucretian Kleineman, this swerve that all of a sudden throws you off.
Well, my cadre of poetic peers kind of made a blood pact with each other that we wouldn't write any work unless it was fun, unless it actually partook of humor. And I think that this was a side effect of our response to the history of the avant-garde itself, which I think in many cases has suffered from a fatal dose of seriousness. That despite its vaunted celebration of the jouissance of the text, it reserves these pleasures almost entirely for the writer and takes some delight in the fact that it restricts that pleasure to the reader, right? That it kind of refuses to transmit that pleasure to the reader. I suppose that among some of preceding avant-garde movements, there's been a real turn towards the hieratic, the difficult, a certain stage seriousness that can begin to sound, I think, very stale as it's repeated over time. And I didn't become an avant-garde poet because it was hard or difficult. I didn't become an avant-garde poet because I thought it was hieratic and mystical. I didn't become an avant-garde poet because I thought it was deadly serious. I did so in part because I think it's the funnest of the genres that you can adopt as a poet, that it has all the best ideas and seems to me to be the funnest trick at the circus. So consequently, it seems very important to me to take the act of play very seriously, to be as playful as possible within the work, in order to showcase to an audience why being a poet is meritorious. I mean, part of the reason that we enjoy, say, a magic trick is not only because we don't know how it's done, but also because we'd like to know how to do it, and we might want to run away and join the circus. I mean, there's nothing worse than sitting through a reading, for example, and feeling like it was an Episcopalian experience, in which you just heard a sermon and you were kind of clapping politely because it was over. Right? I think that there should be some charismatic engagement with the experience, and certainly humor makes that possible, especially when dealing with a kind of work that might otherwise seem very abstruse or strange. By showcasing that material with a certain kind of, respectful irreverence engages an audience.